Hi, hello, vanakkam, and welcome to Nadanam, a dance podcast. I'm Anoop Karthick, the host of the show, and I'm absolutely thrilled to have you join me here for another exciting episode. Get ready to dive deep into the world of dance as we explore everything related to dance. Whether you're a seasoned dancer, a passionate enthusiast, or simply someone who loves the beauty of movement, this episode has something special in store for you. But before we get started, I want to take a moment to express my gratitude to all our listeners. Your support and enthusiasm means the world to me, and it's what keeps this podcast going strong. So, thank you from the bottom of my heart. Alright, let's not waste any more time. Get ready to be inspired, educated, and entertained as we embark on another dance filled adventure together. Without further ado, let's jump right into today's episode. We have a special guest, Neelakshi here. Neelakshi is a dance, fitness, and wellness coach. She has been teaching dance for a decade now, and she teaches Bolly hop actually, and Latin salsa like bachata, kizomba, and she practices herself a lot. She's a fitness, weight training, pilates, yoga, dance fitness, wellness, Reiki, meditation, hypnosis, and lot more. So we're gonna ask her all about these things and let us know much better than from herself. Yeah. So I'm happy and glad to introduce Neelakshi to our podcast. Welcome, Neelakshi. How are you?
Thank you, Anoop. Thank you so much. I'm wonderful. How are you?
I'm good. I'm good. All good.
Thank you for having me here. It's really an honor to be on your podcast. I had been following you for quite some time, and I'm so happy you had me on board. And I'm
Okay.
great. I'm great. Like what you're doing for the community, connecting people, and also it's kind of inspiring for everybody who's starting their own journey. So my congratulations to you, first of all.
Thank you. Thank you so much. So I'm just curious about to know everything about you and how you carry out your journey, your struggles, and about all stuffs you are doing right now. So let me ask you a few questions and we can carry on from there. So my first question will be you have an impressive range of expertise in dance, fitness, and wellness. So can you share how you first discovered your passion for these areas and how your journey has evolved over these years?
So, dance is something which is quite natural to me. Since I was a child, I always loved dancing. In fact, like people would say that I could dance before I could walk, in terms of even when I was a little baby, I would just start moving when I hear music. So, that is how important dance was. And I think that was always my way of expressing myself, my way of venting out, my way of joy and, celebrating every little thing. And even when those days were there where you're low and down with your energy levels, this would be the thing that I needed to release everything. So this is how I had fallen in love with dance when I was a kid. Then on, I kept on training over a period of years. So it would just be a hobby for a very long time. So I did my graduation in mass comm. So I was a journalist in the beginning. Okay, so I was a lifestyle journalist. I used to write for a newspaper. I was on a local television channel as an anchor, as also a filmmaker and a journalist. So I used to do these things, voiceover artist. And then I got introduced to dancing right here. So I had a studio nearby where I went to learn a little bit of salsa. And I saw those people. So I was a very masculine person in my energy when I was growing up. So I was always connected to hip hop. So I would do freestyle hip hop dancing. But I was never in touch with my feminine side that much. Now I saw someone dancing salsa, and the way they were dancing, it was very unique. So I had a lot of power in my dancing always. I'm an energetic person by nature. So when they were dancing, I kind of felt very different. So I thought that okay, this sounds something new. So maybe let me try this, and I went for it. And when I went for the class, it was very different. It was unique because as we are growing up, I think especially in Indian culture, we do not embrace our femininity that much with the movements and everything. We kind of
Yeah.
not allowed to move too much, especially so we are still privileged over here in the cities. There are a lot of places where women, they do not even they're not allowed to showcase their body structures or experiment with how they want
Okay.
to move their body. And I think that's a very big restriction. So when I got the chance to get into salsa, I started seeing all these different styling movements that women do, okay? Moving different parts of your body, like your hands, your hips, your waist, your chest, all the rolls that were coming in between. And each move, I think it was symbolizing how you can express your femininity. So from being a complete tomboy to coming into a more feminine aspect,
Mhm.
all these dance forms, salsa or bachata, they started transforming me each day. And
Okay.
I soon started falling in love with it. It had the speed, it had that sensuality, it also had that character where you can just express yourself in full form. And I started getting in love with this dance form. And then I continued taking workshops from different instructors who would come to India. Then I also tried I also had these Zoom flash mobs. So we had
Okay.
these beautiful instructors who had come over long back, Shannon Trajano, and many other instructors in between, Kadu Larissa. So these are the people who also added Zoom to my dance journey. Salsa was already started long back, and then with different workshops, I kept on training myself. Bachata came in, and then Kizomba came in. So Nelson Campos was like a great master teacher and also a brother to me. So he really nurtured me over there. But with time, as I was growing with each form of dance, I felt that, there's this need to express yourself in what your style is. And it is a liberating feeling when you can express
Okay.
your sensuality or your creativity with those movements. So I found that opportunity in all sorts of dance, and then I made up my mind that maybe this is the thing that I want to do for the rest of my life. And earlier it felt as if it's a hobby and you can never make
Okay.
money out of it, and it cannot be taken professionally, because back then, like more than a decade back, that's when I started around 2008 2009. So around that time, dancing was not something that was taken as a profession in India.
Profession.
You would
Yeah.
still look
Yeah.
down on it. People who are dancing,
Yes.
they were not really respected. So luckily we had all these television shows that showed up, and they had these amazing dancers showcasing their talent, because of which opportunities opened up for us, and that certain respect started coming in the industry. So when that happened, I also went into it, and luckily, and also with a lot of hard work,
Mhm.
opportunities opened. People
Okay.
could see me, and they liked the way I was dancing. They allowed me the opportunity to assist them, and then I got more opportunities to teach other people, and that's how it just continued. So I think
Okay.
Bolly hop and all these dances are still something which are very natural to us. It was Latin dance that was still the tougher part, and to get each move correctly. And it's like we are all still learning. I would never say that, okay, I've got it all or anything. We're still learning, and there are more things that we keep experimenting. And with that, the journey started, say, around 2008, 2009. And then I continued being an assistant for a very long time. And then I became an instructor myself. We started with our company called iDance India. That's the company I was a partner with. So
Okay.
Jose was a person who had started this company, and I went on to join him. And later I transformed this into my own company, Dance Now. And
Okay.
now I share this love for dance through dance now with all the other
Okay.
people. So that's my
Okay.
learning.
Nice, 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 nice to hear that. Everything you have been through dance, was that in Delhi or all around the places?
So the first base is Delhi, definitely.
Okay.
Then
Yeah.
I have spread out to Delhi NCR, which is Gurgaon and Noida. So I
Okay.
conduct my
Okay.
classes there. I have my clientele there. Then I started traveling. So, there was this time where I'm like traveling to Phuket, I'm doing Euro trips. During
Okay.
that, I got an opportunity to teach in Greece, in Paris. So I had private lessons, I had group sessions over there in Phuket. So, this is how I connected to different cities. Then I used to
Okay.
travel for, there were like these wonderful festivals that were organized by some organizers in India who want to promote dance. So I went there and conducted workshops over there in their different festivals like Bangalore, Goa, Chandigarh. And like that, I have been continuing to do so. So
Okay.
apart from this, just teaching in different countries with my style, I also got the opportunity to play as a DJ, which is
Okay.
like I guess a later that we will
Yeah,
discuss.
yeah, we'll be talking
But
it.
then it has been a journey where I have been able to connect to different people. And recently I went to Siliguri. So Siliguri is absolutely new to dancing, salsa dancing, basically Latin
Okay,
dancing. And recently, Mr. Baichung Bhutia, the footballer, so he
yeah,
organized an
okay,
event, and he has himself, performed somewhere earlier, long back in his older days. So
okay,
he has just recently started this great venture where he invited me to bring this love of Latin dancing into that culture. So I try
okay,
to go to different places where it is already not existent, and then I create that opportunity of spreading this love, which is how I felt that, this is the need, especially for like
okay.
men and women. I feel Latin dancing is one of the most amazing ways how it shows you can handle the other person, how you
Yes,
proceed, and,
absolutely.
the right touch. So I think it has
Yeah,
been very educational in doing that. So even the flash mobs that I created, those were dedicated towards respect for women. And it is
okay.
because when we are growing up, we are never taught how to really ask the lady for a dance, or how your touch really feels when she goes through it. So when we are teaching the people, the men and women in our studio, how to dance, we are also teaching them how they should be approaching another person, how the touch can be gentle and at the same time respectful. And
Okay.
if we are given this information to a very large extent, we can at least remove those bad vibes. So that's what I'm
Yeah.
aiming for.
Okay, fine.
Yeah.
So you have been teaching all these different kind of styles, Bollywood, salsa, bachata, kizomba, and more. So how do you approach teaching and blending these diverse styles to create a unique experience for your students? So you'll carry on with one style at a time, or you'll blend all these styles. How it is? How do you approach with your students?
So I think whenever we have a piece of information with us, it never goes to waste. Every
Yeah.
part of knowledge, every piece of knowledge always adds on to your understanding greater things. So mostly my classes are dedicated to one particular discipline. But when you just, as a teacher, when you're looking at those through your teaching style, you kind of inculcate a little bit of everything. So you
Yeah.
understand what is working well in a particular dance form. So if I would want to bring that energy from a different dance form, I would. If I can inculcate that kind of rhythm and flavor in the other dance form, I would. So when I'm teaching, I'm sticking to one discipline. I do not make them mix the styles ever, but I certainly inspire them with the other styles so that they understand how their body weights are moving, how their body can actually depict energy, how they can pull up in a way that it shows out. So certain dance forms, they have a little way of you have to be subtle, okay, and certain dance forms you have to really blow it out and go big and look big with your moves. So to open their bodies up, I inculcate all the different styles in one class where it's about opening your body so it has that expression. Then it's up to
Okay.
you how you want to utilize that and follow the discipline, follow particular footwork and particular style of dance, and continue with it.
Okay, that's cool. So it's nice to have well-being and fitness, all these kind of stuffs into dance, which I think it will help much more as a dancer and a person as a human being actually. So as a holistic practitioner, you incorporate fitness, wellness, and dance into your teaching. So can you explain how these elements intersect and complement each other in your approach to holistic well-being?
Okay. So, while dancing, I kind of, also worked on myself as a person. And that's how I got my whole interest in spirituality and
Okay.
developing your mental ability to enhance your life and bring that. Now, even when I'm teaching dance, why I love teaching dance basically is because I love the journey that, a person who's completely beginner, who's absolutely afraid of this thing, petrified when he enters the class, can't even get the synchronization
Yeah.
right. That person has a very low confidence at that time, right? And they want to do something. I like to be around such people and really uplift them. So I then give them these tools of how they can move their foot here and their hand here, and then we can work together. And over a period of 3 or 4 months, that confidence builds up, and that person transforms into a different person. The way they carry their body, the posture changes, everything is like absolutely different. Now, while I was doing that, I realized that, okay, this is something which I'm doing on the physical level. But there's a lot happening here. When a person comes to a dance class, it's not just to learn dance, it's to release a lot of mental blockages they're facing, it's to release all the stress they're facing in their life. And they're just not looking to learn steps. That is the least amount of work that you need to do. They're looking for something that can transform their life, that can, give them a new confidence, a new personality, an ability to portray themselves in their greater light. Okay. So
Yeah.
understanding that thing, I went on to learn these different tools, which I myself applied on myself. So I had
Okay.
my meditations, I had my Reiki, I had my hypnosis, I had these access bars. So all the understanding that was coming from there, I started incorporating it while counseling with my friends, with my students, and it started transforming them as people. That is when I realized that this is still separate. The conversations, the
Okay.
guided meditations, and whatever you're doing with them, the conversations you're having with them, they're transforming their mind. But at the same time, that and the movements are remaining separate. Then on, I went on to create something called a spirit dance. Now, this is
Okay.
something where I get people to use all the moves that I've ever learned throughout my journey, whether it's from my own practice of contemporary, my own practice of any other Latin dance, any practice of my hip hop, or anything that I've ever practiced in my life. I bring them all together, and I went into the quietness of my mind and understood how it is affecting, which chakra is it opening for me. If I'm
Okay.
performing this particular move, if I'm thumping my foot on the ground, what kind of effect it is having on me. And then I put with it certain specific music, which is tuned for that vibration of your brain, to soothe it. It's a particular hertz. And at the same time, there are certain sentences which go as the lyrics of my song of my class. I tried to put them together, and then I tried to use it on people. And in the beginning, it was just an experiment that whether it's even working or not. And then I gave them certain movements of hands, certain movements of their chest, certain movements of their hip and their legs and feet, even the neck. And we tried to get an understanding at the end of the session that what did it do. Now the results were that some people actually screamed out. Okay, it was
Okay.
cathartic for some people. Some had tears
Yeah.
in their eyes, and some could just feel that as if they had been storing so much of heaviness and they instantly became light. Okay, so that was where all this holistic conditioning came together. Now, since I'm also a physical trainer, a fitness trainer, I understand how the anatomy works. I understand the muscles that we use. I understand all the movements. So, even yoga itself has a lot of wonderful movements that can open your body up. Pilates, for that matter, has things that can condition your body and strengthen your core. And so as weight training. So, I try to use all these things to also develop the overall strength of the people who are working with me. And that is how I ended up with these amazing clients. Or, in fact, you will see one or two on
Okay.
Netflix this year. One of my major
Yeah. Yeah.
clients, she's become a huge star now from Delhi. So, she will be coming. So, I've been training her for quite many years. So, you will see that, these people, they have imbibed all the work of dance, the goodness of dance, along with the spiritual tools that are available for all of us, and
Okay.
use that to empower themselves and gain that physical strength. So that's how this whole thing came together, and this is like the final thing that I want to stick to.
Okay. That's cool. So you have invented your own style of dance. You have already said like release energy blockages and felicitate inner healing. Okay. So can you share more about this unique approach and how it has impacted your clients' life?
So I have seen this to really clear the blockages in a way where we are storing so much of shame, so much of guilt, so much of imperfections within us, and we kind of it shows in our body posture also. Like if you'll see, people are like sunken in, and they're like
Yeah.
not able to open their body up, and there's this heaviness that you feel in their shoulders, as if they really cannot open their shoulders up. So that kind of thing you see a lot. Now, with these modalities, what it does is it targets different parts of your physique. Okay. So
Okay.
for your chest, probably, it'll start giving you movements which are going to open up. Okay. And as it is releasing, not only is it working the muscles in that area, not only is it working on your back muscles, also lengthening the ones which have been tighter, and kind of giving strength to the ones which have been weaker over a period of time. Because when you stay in a certain posture, you start releasing, that muscle becomes weaker and weaker, and then you start developing those pains, and whichever are the
Okay.
weakest areas, you start developing pains there. So a person who has been stressful most of their life will soon develop that kind of cervical issue, and with their bent posture, they will continue doing that. Now these modalities that I'm doing, it opens and targets each posture according to the client, and working on it, we start releasing the emotions and the chakras around it too. So we start
Okay.
working on that chakra. Like when I counsel them, then when I sit with them, I kind of have an idea that okay, this is the area which needs maximum work. So we start working on that area. The chakra opens up, the muscles around that area strengthen, and then automatically they feel better. Now, these
Okay.
kind of movements have been there in dancing throughout for ages. So, I am just repurposing something that has already been there, but in my own way. Because the kind of music I use and the sort of words I use in the dance, those are very much like affirmations, or, you would say,
Okay.
those are very liberating words where we're focusing on acknowledging and accepting whoever and
Okay.
however you are, and expressing however you wish to express. So for you, if personally a movement which is going onto the ground and then just throwing your hands and feet is something natural and you require to do, then that would be your mode of releasing it. So
Okay.
I put all these movements where you have these lateral movements, side and forward movements, jumping movements, on the floor movements with the stretch, and it just comes together in a way where it releases those inhibitions that you've been holding on to. Sometimes it makes you feel like you want to yell, you want to cry. It allows you to do that, and there is nobody judging you at that time, and that's how it opens. So since then,
Okay.
people have said that it really has made them more flexible, also given them strength, and not just that, it has given them that sort of strength. When they speak, they feel that they can feel their core better because it's more
Okay.
clearer, the pathways are more clearer. So these have been the changes I've seen in them.
That's cool. How do clients approach you? Like, they wanted to make their postures better, or they will say something like, "I want this to happen." So, how did the clients approach you, and what did they ask for while joining to you for the first time? So, how does that works?
So the mainstream part of my work is basic salsa, bachata classes, volley hop classes, dance fitness classes. People just want to get fit. They want to lose weight. Okay.
Okay.
That is how
Okay.
most of the people approach me. So that is one way, the mainstream way. Okay. Then there are certain people who are aware of the energy way that I do
Okay.
and utilize in my dancing. So they tell me specifically that we have been feeling limited in our capacity, or we are feeling that we have not been able to be our true self. So they are
Okay.
already good in their life, they're doing pretty good, but they believe that they can be greater. So
Okay.
that thing, that little thing that holds you back, so they're aware of that. And such people approach me that they would want to improve their
Overcome.
lifestyle through dance. Yeah, so then I figured out that what are the different ways I can make that happen. So for if a person is coming to me, they would just say that I would want to probably hire a fitness trainer, but I would want to work on my mind and my body at the same time. And
Okay.
I assess whether which modality will work better for them. So, suppose if I feel that probably I should start with just yoga on a daily basis, I will do that. But if I feel that I can include Pilates and some weight training, because sometimes we think that, okay, weight training, especially for women keep hiding from weight training. Women think that, oh, it's going to make me look like a man. Okay. But it's
Mhm.
not. But when you lift the weights, it gives you a certain strength. So there is an effect that it has on you. And it's for women, it's very important to do weight training actually, because we start
Okay.
having muscle atrophy after a certain age, like right after 30, it's quite hard. So these people, they approach me, and then I create a program for them, that what are the things that we will be doing, whether we'll be including some dance, some strength training, some meditation exercises, and certain sort of release methods to include. And that's how we go about it.
Okay, so you'll be planning according to each person. So you'll include some for some person, and you'll include others for others. So according to their
Yeah.
yeah, carry on.
Yeah, so for the group sessions, it's a very standard thing. So group sessions will
Okay.
include certain movements, and at the same time, group sessions. So, like I said, the mainstream of salsa, bachata, bolly hop, that remains. Those are different classes. Nothing like this ever happens. For the spirit
Okay.
dance and for something else, the group sessions are set in a different manner, where there it is more about starting the class with venting out movements, then it's to a harmonizing movement, and then to consolidate all the work that you have done. So building movements. So those are
Okay.
different ways I keep my spirit dance class. But rest, the people just approach me with whether they want to go for a more fitness training approach, or something like a yoga class, or something like a dance class properly, nothing else. So those are like the simple ways of doing it.
Okay, fine. That's cool. So let's get into the DJ part. As you, this is for the viewers, and Neelakshi is our India's first Afro Latin DJ. So happy to achieve that thing first as a female Afro Latin DJ. So, and you have been hosting numerous Latin parties in Delhi. And how do you balance your roles as a DJ, instructor, and holistic coach? And what lessons have you learned from these experience?
So again, right now, I'm not doing any parties at the moment. But earlier,
Okay.
I was actually doing like 6 parties in a week. There have been days like that, and I've had
That's so
that kind
damn.
of thing. Uh, yeah, yeah, I have been known to do that in Delhi. I have conducted like too many parties, and all in NCR. And again, like I said, where nobody goes, I go. And I start off things like that. So to places like West Delhi, I will go there. To places like Noida. So I have been known to start the first of many, and
Okay.
include, so even bachata parties in Delhi. That is how we guys did it. So when I was working as a company with iDance. So earlier in Delhi, the scene was that we had all salsa and bachata. So kizomba hadn't come back then. It is like
Okay.
long back in around 2009, 10. I guess I
Okay.
can't recall, but maybe yeah, somewhere around that. So it was more like salsa and bachata. And bachata, you used to just get a little bit of part in the dancing. So
Yeah.
as the host of party, we felt that okay, it's like a very boring concept. Every time we have the same kind of party, so let's try something new. And then we started the first bachata party, which was only dedicated to bachata dancing, and there was no other music playing in that party. Barely
Okay.
one or two salsa songs. That is how we
Okay.
started. Me and my partner Jose. And then we did that for quite some time, which really opened doors for many Delhi players, Delhi bachata teachers, to conduct separate bachata classes altogether. So that is how that came to us. So I started doing that. Then we also started the first of many kizomba and zouk parties. So we, again, like I said, we had these zouk flash mobs. So we thought that our students required a place where they can just go and dance only this particular dance form. So we had our Kizomba instructors who had visited us long back. With them, we created a completely Kizomba and Zouk focused party. So that is how, again, that was many years back. So we started with these things. And again, the concept was that the people who are learning these dance forms, they should have a place where they can dance it out. And also, I have this, again, if you talk to me, I think I have a way of looking at things in a very different manner every time. So whenever I
Hmm.
used to be on the DJ console, I used to feel people are so pure. They're absolutely like how they were when they were children. They're innocent, and
Okay.
they're like in that zone where they're just enjoying, feel that
Okay.
bliss on their faces. So I personally love that part when I'm DJing. So that is my favorite part. Whenever I'm on the console, that's the thing. And it just makes me raise my energies every time I'm there. So I just look at people and I see how much they're enjoying and how they're expressing themselves. It adds that energy to me, and I love doing that. So doing that over a period of time, I did a lot of parties. So almost six in a week I have done, and all over Delhi NCR. But then I was lucky enough to host and conduct sessions in Chennai, Siliguri for that matter, different parts of the world, like even in Greece and Athens. I had done a party over there, Paris, Venice. So these are the places where I got connected to the dancers over there, and I was DJing there. So I was very
Okay.
lucky to have done that. Yeah, and that was lovely.
Oh, nice.
I also
So,
do commercial DJing.
okay.
The commercial DJ also, yeah, like the techno nights, the commercial music. I also
Okay.
do that sort of a thing. So I've done like
Okay.
Jaipur
So,
and all those places. I keep doing different parties too.
okay. So, right now you are not into DJ. You are just concentrating more on dance and wellness part, right? So,
Yeah, right now I'm kind of focusing more on this wellness part at the moment. So I'm not creating more parties, but DJing is a
okay.
skill which continues. Like for Holi, I've got my gigs already, but those are more commercial ones. Those are not for
Okay.
salsa Latin community. Okay, so
Okay.
those are like
Fine. Fine. Fine.
for everyone because
Yeah.
Holi is a big thing and we like to.
Okay, fine. So, your involvement in coordinating bachata for Netflix shows like real love is quite impressive. Can you tell us more about your work in the entertainment industry and how dance has influenced your creative endeavors?
So, Bachata sessions for In Real Love was a very nice project that we did. And it was the whole idea was again to promote Latin dancing. So, as I
Okay.
was sitting, so, they wanted to understand a way of connecting people at the same time, creating a show with that. And I spoke with Mr. Raghuram and we decided to go with Bachata. And
Okay.
we thought that, this was a wonderful opportunity to bring Bachata out there for the masses to get connected. And it did do that work. Like now, more and more people are aware of what Bachata is, and they're looking forward to such classes and some such parties. So that is how it was good. And it really helped me coordinate that because we required a lot of instructors and dancers for that show. So it helped me get the entire community together who are performing over here in Delhi, and we could all do that. So that is how that went. So it was quite a wonderful project we had.
Good, good, good. So, I think you will be carrying on with some other Netflix shows. So, can you tell me about your future projects with Netflix or some other medias?
So I can't give the name of the show, but yeah, a few of my clients are also coming
Okay,
in an upcoming Netflix show. It will be out in September, and
okay,
it is about her. It is not a group show. It is not a performance or something like that, but it is her. So she has been my client for quite some time for fitness and dance
okay.
at the same time. And we will be probably showcasing, depending on how much they edit, but people will probably be showcasing her. And I think you'll see me a little bit in that too.
Okay, fine. So, is it's been a decade now. You are into the this dancing field. So you might have performed. You might have performed DJ, and you have quite instructed a few peoples and trained a few of them. So, what do you feel most memorable moment in this dance career? It would be a particular moment or a particular event. What is that memorable moment?
I think every moment is actually memorable with dance because there's no better way of expressing and living your life if not for dance, because you see this is a sheer expression of who you are and you get to live a life doing what you love. So I think this is the most amazing part, and every day I am grateful for that, because whenever I see any of my student perform, whenever I see any of my student do well, and even a new person who has just started dancing today, whenever I see that person take it up, I feel that joy on a daily basis. So I don't think it has ever gone down. Every day, whenever I've seen anyone transform with dance and continue with it, it has only made me feel better. So I think that's one of the best perks. And certainly, when you see your students doing good, you love that thing. You see that your students are now even becoming instructors and all that. So, you start loving that even more. And you realize that, okay, that's a wonderful contribution to anybody's life.
Okay.
So that's in there. Yeah.
Yeah. So at the same time, you might have faced some particular bad phase in your career. Can you tell about how did you overcome those phase, and what kind of mental struggle you have gone through, or something like that? If there is something such great thing happened after that, yeah.
That happens to everyone at some point or the
Yeah,
other.
yeah, yeah.
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 So, but again, for me, it has been my meditation that has always got me through. So what I
Okay.
talk, I actually walk that. Okay, so I have never been the one who has really cared about what people say or think, and I literally just keep doing whatever I do. So even like when I proudly talk about doing parties in a week, it is not an easy task. And
Yes, it is
first to
not
get
at all
people,
an easy
and
task.
second, I think I made a few enemies on the way who were
Okay.
deliberately trying to sabotage the events. And also, there has been this constant thing that, I usually get invited to different places to host party. And now many people, I am not very sure how they operate, but whoever are the owners of the place, they invite me genuinely
Okay.
to go ahead and create a vibe. While I always say that, okay, whoever has been doing it, I think sometimes people are not even charging for it. Okay, they do it for free also. Yet I have been invited by such owners who want only me, specifically me, to take care of it. And I think it's
Okay.
an energy thing, what I believe, because, it's a trust thing that you believe another person more. And with that, there has been like ups and downs here and there and every time. But I think it's an energy thing that people like to work with certain people more than, it keeps changing. And I guess everybody's looking out for themselves. So that kind of scenario has kind of been there. And it has been one of the lows of this whole thing. But I think I have always continued doing what I do and never focused on what's not working for me. And I've always kept an open mind that, okay, whatever has to happen, happens, and maintain that peace within yourself and then continue with it. So I do something till the time I feel like doing it, and
Okay.
luckily I have always had that connect and blessings that my work continues till the time I want to do it.
Okay.
So yeah, but I
Great,
really walk
great.
the talk. I'm like, I meditate, I continue with my peaceful things. I
Yeah.
hardly care what somebody else feels or does. So that's what happens.
Yeah. So you just have to concentrate your work and just go with the flow through meditation.
Yeah,
Yeah. Yeah.
yeah, because I guess everybody on this earth gets disturbed by someone else sometime or the other. So no
Yes.
matter whatever you're doing, somebody will always have a problem with it. Okay. And whenever I don't understand the lack mentality many people have. They think that if somebody else starts working, they're going to take the work away from you. But I
Yes.
believe it's a good thing only. If you're good enough, your work will run. I believe even competition, I believe instead of doing that, it's a benefit to the consumers. When,
Yeah.
suppose, you have like two, three people who are competing in the same field, each one of the competitor has to do well to make themselves stick. So I think it's a very good opportunity for the consumers being the people who are attending that event or that festival or that party, to try it out. And
Yeah.
when we are enhancing our abilities, then we are giving something better to the people. We are letting the community evolve also. So I believe it's fine, that we should have that, and we all have to work hard. But again, you cannot make everybody happy on this earth. So we all have to continue, think positive, and continue with your thing, and don't get
Yeah.
ruffled with anything, and keep doing your thing. So that's the game.
Nice. So when it comes to Afro Latin dancing, it's all about partners works. So how do you do you have a separate partner, or you collab with some partners on the period of time? So how does that works? The partner thing? Yeah.
So yeah, I usually collaborate with different people who are already there. So the different male members, or sometimes also I partner up with my own students, girls also, and I
Okay.
lead and they can follow. But most of the times I always collaborate. I have like good friends in the community over here in Delhi, salsa, bachata, kizomba community. So if I ever require, they're always there to help me out, and that ways it gets done. But most of the times I take a lot of classes alone too, because I do both the lead and follow part.
Okay.
And when I'm like doing certain sessions, I'm able to give them that information. Luckily, being
Okay.
a follower also helps me get an edge upon explaining to the guy how I would like to be led. Now, a lot of people do
Okay.
not believe that, okay, being a girl, how would you lead and all that. But actually, it helps. It is not a bad thing. It's not a disadvantage. It's actually an advantage, because eventually, even as a man, you're leading the woman, right? And sometimes you
Yeah.
need to understand how much force you require, how much where do you need to place the hand properly, and which kind of way should you be touching her, that she understands the lead. So, and in fact, you would have seen many beautiful female leads all around. And I remember Amy was there on your show earlier. So
Yeah.
Amy
Yeah.
herself is a wonderful leading lady. Yeah, and she's done
Yes.
those projects. So yeah, so I think it's a wonderful thing. So I most of the times lead myself, and also help people to understand that you can go ahead. But in case I require somebody to partner up, I always have some students or other dance teachers to partner up with me. Like one of the shows I did for some Z News, we had shows for Z Rajasthan. So I partner up with one of my students, old students, for a bachata thing. And
Okay.
for some Dainik Jagran, again, I partnered up with a teacher. So I keep partnering up. So
Collaborating with
even for my
all.
yeah. So either with one of my students or somewhere from there. So I do the choreography myself. Like for the Netflix show, I had my student partner up with me, and I had included like a couple of my students in that show in
Okay.
Real Love. So it was like that. So we all collaborate with different instructors who have time at that time, of course, or I partner up with my students. So either of those. But it's quite comfortable. Yeah. Can you hear me?
Yeah, I couldn't hear you. Hello?
Yeah. Is this better?
Can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you clearly.
Okay, just a second. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay, okay, fine. Sorry.
What
Yeah.
happened? Okay.
So, when it comes to yeah, yeah, you okay? Yeah?
Yes, yes.
Oh, yeah. So, yeah. So, when it comes to dance, there must be some influences, or you take inspiration from a lot of people. So, whom do you think it's the greatest inspiration for you, and how do you incorporate those influence into your own dance styles?
I think I take inspiration from everyone. If you would see, I take inspiration from every person, because I think everybody is unique. Everybody has a unique style, and there's something you can learn from each and every person. You understand? Like, I believe that people have that thing in them. So, like, you will even see somebody who has just been dancing for years, and they would still have their own flavor to learn from. So that
Okay.
is there. But definitely I like there are certain teachers, and there's certain people like Enichi from old days. I have always gotten inspired by them, Kadu Larissa for that matter. And even like Isgi is someone I have taken classes from, and also worked on, and like the way she does her gymnastics at the same time includes that in her classes. So this
Okay.
is the kind of style I really look up to, where you mix something that you have been training for the rest of your life, and then you put it
Okay.
in another form, Bercy Cortez for that matter. So all these people, I think these dances are certainly good, but I always admire my contemporaries and all the people who are here in Delhi and all over India, because each dancer has their unique style. So every instructor that has ever worked, I kind of look up to them with respect. And I always get
Okay.
inspired because I think everybody has a different style and a different way of teaching that you can always incorporate in yourself and give better to the society that you're working with. So I
Okay.
think I even draw inspiration from a lot of students, like, how they're dedicated and they're diligent and they are fixated on getting that move right
Mhm.
and opening up themselves to just, let go of any hesitation and get out there. So I am a person who genuinely gets inspired by everything and everyone around me. But yeah, I think everybody needs to be appreciated for the great work they're
Yeah.
doing. Because whenever I think one person is dancing, they're kind of making the world a better place, not just by kind of giving that joy, but also not being stressful and creating more problems in the world. So I think every
Okay.
person who's dancing is kind of keeping the world sane.
Yeah. So each one is keep on inspiring you. Yeah. That's good.
Yeah, everyone.
Yeah.
And
Mm.
I think there's so much of talent coming up on a daily basis. If you like see
Yeah.
every week, you see so many people
Lot
are
of
getting
peoples.
better
Yeah.
than before. Yeah, and I
Yeah.
love that about people, that how they keep working on themselves and every time they're getting better and better.
Yeah.
So they're like beautiful. Everybody is doing their own things, and everybody has their own journey. So I respect wherever they are, and I really look up to each one of them.
Yeah, it shouldn't be a big thing for you have to take it from them. It can be a small thing that you can take it from each one and get it inspired and you can work on it.
Yeah,
Yeah. So that's
yeah.
the whole
Because
idea of inspiration. Mm.
yeah, that you have something like, I love what you are doing right now, like how you are creating these podcasts. So in your own way, you've made so much of a difference. You've gotten people connected, and
Yeah.
because of this podcast, new people will get inspired, new people will get into dancing,
Yeah.
new people will probably just take their journey to a different level. So I
Yeah.
am inspired by this too. So every day I think you kind of stay in awe, and if you start taking names, I think it's a limitless thing.
Yeah.
It's endless. Sorry, it's like an
Yeah.
endless list. Because where did you
Absolutely. Yes.
start from? It's since those days you start from until today. There's like so many people are there, and it will just remain unfinished if you leave out even one of them. So
Yeah.
I prefer
Sorry.
to just give that credit to each one of them who has ever walked over here and danced. So
Mm. Yeah.
the greater we think on those things, I think we keep ourselves in the right frame of mind.
Can you host retreats where you offer a holistic experience combining dance, fitness, and wellness? So, what
Yeah.
participants can expect from these retreats, and how do you create a transformative experience from them?
So these retreats are focused on, again, working on the energy. So these
Okay.
are more spiritual than just a regular wellness retreats. Usually in wellness retreats, you have yoga and meditation. Yoga and meditation is the least amount of activity that we do over here. So yoga, you just have your morning yoga, but even that yoga is not just the regular yoga you see. It is focused on every chakra that needs to be opened. So we are not working only on the postures, we are working on the energy centers that are governing our brain and also our mind, our well-being, that ways. So those are the that is your yoga part. Then the meditations, guided meditations, is also not the bigger part of these retreats. The biggest part of these retreats is the energy, okay, the energy work. So I call this a spiritual retreat because we have a lot of energy that we channel during this. So we have had some incredible experiences where we are just sitting and we feel that surge of energy in our hands, and then you kind of transfer that energy to the people that you're working with. So in our recent retreat, we had three absolutely straight, like some strangers, absolute strangers. They do not know anything about each other, And during these practices that we are doing, so we include a little bit of Reiki in it, we include a little bit of access bars in it, then we have our EFT, emotional freedom technique, in it. Then we have our different ways of unpeeling our layers and realizing our root causes. So still these things are just being attuned to, that you're getting information on. You are not aware of what the other person has. But with just after the first day of these attunements, the people were able to place hands and get an intuition of what a physical ailment is in the other one out of nowhere. So they could just even get to the point that, okay, I think you have some problem with your throat, or there's a
Okay.
tonsil or a thyroid issue. Is magnificent, because we have no idea that this person is, and then again we have an intuition that probably this is the solution, and I can hear some sort of solution like that. So we are kind of tapping into our intuitive powers, awakening our energy centers, and this is just in 3 days and 2 nights. So something that you have to work for years, the kind of sadhana one does for years, is just brought into one entire retreat setup. And within like the first or second day maximum, you start seeing all these different changes. Again, this
Okay.
has been divided into parts, where the first day is just to release. So we have certain ceremonies around the fire, around the water, and in the open with our spirit dance, where you release the first day. The second day is you regain, you again start doing it, and then the third day is consolidating it and going back to your life with these techniques and tools, so that when you are back home, the real challenge is when you're back home. Anybody can be
Okay.
peaceful in a retreat, any XYZ,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
bring anyone, right? The real
Yeah.
challenge is when you get back home, you get back to the same people, and
Yeah.
then you have
Absolutely.
to deal with that. Now, how much of this can you apply? So then I maintain that contact with all the people who are
Okay.
following me, or who have continued their work, their inner work with me. And then I
Okay.
keep fitting these tools that, okay, now you should do this, now you should do this, and then we mix and match. And I am so happy to say that these people have started applying this, and this was absolutely alien to them, and they have started bringing those changes in their family members, in themselves, and they're actually
Nice.
guiding their life with this intuition. And what else do you want? If you can channel that higher energy, if you can actually tap into that guidance, that inner voice, which we all have stopped listening to, and that inner voice is kind of giving you the answers of how you can clear anything, your money blockages, your relationship blockages, your happiness blockages. So then what else do you need? So that is the kind of work we do in my spiritual retreats, which includes your yoga, meditation, of course, but then we have Reiki, access bars, EFT, spirit dance, different Hawaiian techniques. So I'm very much driven by shamanism. So I include those techniques too.
Okay.
So it's been over a period of years that I've learned all this. It's been almost a decade also for all those things. And now I have started shaping it like this. In fact, the funniest part is that I have always gone to so many parties, and
Okay.
I've had a lot of these retreats at different places. It's not a retreat earlier. It wasn't a retreat. It was like a camp where I go
Okay.
onto the console and I'm playing my music, and I would think that, okay, people, when you get down, people discuss about your music. They don't discuss anything else. They're like, huh, oh, which track was that? Oh, I like that and that, right? But I would get down and I had people coming to me and saying that, oh, I've been feeling this issue for so many years. Can you help me with that? Help me feeling
Okay.
energy and work on my this, on my backache. So I was like, okay, so I'm getting my calling. So I realized that, even while I have been dancing and doing this, the bigger calling is switching to my spiritual retreats. And probably now that's going to be the way forward. And I aim
Okay.
to create a system where people can come, and dancing, even singing for that matter, will be a part of that endeavor of mine. And in future, you will see me doing more of these spiritual get-togethers or retreats, as you say it, which will be a culmination of all the things I've ever learned in my life, just for the
Okay.
well-being of everyone out there.
Okay. That's cool. So, how long does this retreat goes? Like a week or 10 days, something like that? How is the period
So
for the retreat? And yeah.
at the moment, I'm doing 3 days, 2 nights, and
Okay.
I intend to increase it to around 5 days for maybe in some time. But it also depends on the people, because most of the people are working and it's kind of harder. I usually focus on youngsters because I believe they have a lot of power to transform. And this being in the youth is the time when you should be utilizing all these tools of universal knowledge, of these spiritual tools. And I work more with them so they can release all the negativity and the patterns, the blockages that they have been carrying forever, and actually live their fullest self. And then later I would be going on with these 10-day or residential programs.
Okay. Good. So yeah. So as you mentioned about Reiki, I just wanted to know more about it. What is actually Reiki is, and how do you what you can learn from it?
So Reiki is a very gentle energy. Okay, it is more like a motherly energy that you have. The Reiki was introduced and kind of brought to the world by Dr. Mikao Usui. He's our greatest teacher, and then there on, he sat in a sadhana. He sat on a mountain in a sadhana, and then he was shown these symbols, and then he continued coming down, and then we have his different miracles that happened when he experimented that energy was flowing through his hands. So wherever he would place the hand, certain healing would start happening, whether it was on his own self when he stubbed his toe or hurt his
Okay.
knee, or whether it was on somebody else who was hurting. So he discovered that there's a way of healing that is accessible to all us humans if we concentrate and meditate. So he created certain symbols. So those symbols are something which different levels of Reiki, different levels of Reiki practitioners try. But even a completely, absolutely newbie can begin with Reiki once they are attuned by a master. So somebody who already teaches Reiki, like a person like me or somebody else who already has this knowledge, can help you open that channel. We have to activate certain channels. It's like a little energy surge that we have to give in so that you can access that part of you. And then what happens is that energy starts flowing through your hands. So we are all
Okay.
surrounded by that energy. So whenever you just like, plan it in your head that, okay, now I'm planning to send Reiki, you rub your hands. And then if you know the symbols, you put those symbols and you place it on yourself also, you will feel a certain tingling sensation, and an issue or a situation or a physical pain will start receding with time. So as you're doing this, that keeps on happening. Now, this is a very gentle energy you can do for anyone in your family. You should do it for yourself too. You can, even if you have not gotten attuned to Reiki, I still believe there's this great energy surrounding all of us. So anybody who can just rub their palms and like place it on themselves, like even on your face or on your eyes, you will start feeling and have the intention that it's healing me. It will start doing its work because this energy is already there for all of us to utilize it.
Okay.
It wants all of us to be healthy and peaceful. The only thing is we are not using it. So, it's like
Yes,
electricity is
absolutely.
always there, but you need to find the connection. If you're not getting the connection, then there is just no point. So each one
You
of
just have
us
to
is
turn on
waiting to.
your own switch.
Yes, so we turn on
Yeah.
the switch and we gain the benefits of that electricity. Similarly, that energy is already flowing through you, flowing through entire universe. You just connect with a trainer who can teach you how to access this, and then you can do it upon yourself. And it has shown me immense benefits. I have used it on people who have had chronic back pains, migraines. Those are just the physical aspects. Then people who have had depression or who have felt that they have not been able to overcome certain streaks of bad luck. So even those people who have like physical ailments, they have started walking right after it. Ways and paths have
Okay.
just opened up for them. So accessing your super consciousness is the work that automatically happens when you do this. So that's what I do in
Okay.
my Reiki.
That's nice, nice. So it's nice to incorporate all these things and making a retreat something kind of this. It really helps people to overcome their struggles and be a happy and good human being. Yeah. So it's
Yeah.
good to see you doing all these steps.
Thank you so much.
I
I'm so grateful I get to do it.
yeah. So
And
I wish
I'm
you
like,
could yeah. Yeah, carry on, carry on. You were saying something?
yeah, so I'm just grateful that, I have the opportunity and it has all come full circle. So with all the little activities I did throughout my life, all the different professions I pursued, now it has all come together in this. And I think spirit dance is like the biggest takeaway from my entire thing. And it has actually shown to be the most popular part of my retreat because,
Okay.
yes, energy and meditation is fine, but not everybody can sit in it. So I guess I have been a great, like I have had a great stroke of luck when, as coming as a dancer, I was able to implement all these spiritual tools into that and create something like a spirit dance because
Okay.
this easily connects all the people to the energy immediately. Otherwise, it's a little hard to, sit and meditate and then get into that zone. But you tell anybody to dance, they go there and they're again like children. And then it's so easy to train them to use this energy. So I guess, yes, everything has a path, and dance has been like moving me towards this. And now it has come to a more fuller final destination, which is this spiritual
Hmm.
retreat or this wellness
Okay.
retreat. And let's see how it goes.
It will go well. Yeah. I wish you all luck and yeah. So yeah. So it's been quite interesting to know you all. You're doing, and it's great to have you on our podcast. And finally, we have one more question. It's a small question, and you can answer that. Yeah. So, what is dance to you? In simple words, what is dance to you?
Hmm. Simple
Yeah.
single word, I would say it's expression. So I would
Expression.
say it's cathartic. Cathartic. That would be so it's cathartic. It releases
Qatar.
whatever you're holding. So I think
Okay.
it's spiritual for me. It has always been, no matter what kind of dance. So I would not say that, okay, this is my favorite dance. I am not the person. Personally, for me, I connect to dance in a way that whenever I have got on the floor, whether it's in a studio, whether it's on a stage, or it's in a nightclub, it has only helped me clear out any energy that I do not require. So it has always been cathartic for me. It has always been a spiritual thing for me. And I hope whoever comes in contact with me, it remains the same for each one.
Okay, that's cool. So yeah, so that is dance to you, and one more last thing, and we can wind up from there. So can you share us, or can you give some tips or something interesting to our viewers or listeners to take it to into their life and proceed it further? It's kind of a tip or your motivation, anything. Yeah.
I think I would always ask people to understand uh, the meaning of whatever they're doing so that it can lead them to happiness. Even whatever
Okay.
you're pursuing in your life, it can be any kind of work. Okay, so
Okay.
like we have different kind of professions, but whatever profession you're pursuing, I hope you understand the meaning for it in regards to you, like how does that make you feel, and you pursue more things that make you feel happy in life, because whenever you are happier, you will find the success, you will find the money to follow through, and it will give you that kind of lifestyle that you're looking for. So my whole life is about follow your purpose and know why you are doing what you're doing. So
Okay.
I think when we do that, we always land on the right great purpose that we have. So no matter what you do, I think knowing what could be the purpose of your life, and your life is just not a mere thing that you live by. It always has a greater purpose where you can add value to different people's lives, get inspired from them, and then be in your truest form. And when we are in our truest form, I think we do not have any malice, we do not have any limitations. We can radiate with all the brightness and light. So I feel that find that meaning in every little thing you do, and everything that you do will turn out to be great.
Yeah. Okay. So that's cool. Nice to have you on our podcast, Neelakshi. It's been quite interesting and informative session with you. So even I could learn a lot of new things from your speech and your motivation, your this kind of new techniques. So I think I should I would attend your retreat once I have yeah. What do you mean? Yeah. So
You're
it's
when
quite
you come to London, then
yeah,
we can have a whole session with it,
small
and
session
maybe we
for it.
can do
Yeah.
some. So
Yeah.
and you will love it, and I'm certainly sure this is like a great thing that you know that you're doing. But with this podcast, I believe you are really touching the lives of many people out there, and I wish you the best, and I wish
Thank
more
you.
wonderful opportunities come your way to take you further ahead. And like I said, you are actually living your purpose, doing other work at the same time you're doing this. And this is how things keep unfolding. What we are supposed to do
Yeah.
comes to the light, and look at you, you're radiating beautifully. So thank you for having me and giving me this opportunity, and I wish you all the good luck in life, and thank you very much, and I look forward to seeing you whenever I'm in London.
Sure, sure, sure. You're in for any time. Yeah. So see you until next time, and I will be keep on calling you for some other uh, topics related to our podcast. So you're always welcome to our podcast. For joining us today. Yeah. Thank you. Thanks.
And that wraps up another fantastic episode of Nadanam. I hope you enjoyed diving into the world of dance with us today. Before we go, remember you can stay connected with us on social media for more updates, behind the scenes content, and exciting announcements. Be sure to follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube at Nadanam a Dance Podcast. If you enjoyed today's episode, please consider leaving us a review on any of your favorite podcast platform. Your feedback helps us improve and reach more listeners who share a love for dance. Thank you once again for tuning in. Until next time, keep dancing, keep dreaming, and keep spreading the joy of moment wherever you go. This is Anoop Karthick signing off. Take care and dance on.